and welcome everyone. I'm so glad to have so many of you with us for our annual Avodah Partners in Justice Jazz Brunch. My name is Gail Shalou, and because of my passion for the work that Avodah does, I feel privileged to serve as chair of the New Orleans Avodah Advisory Council. I am also very proud to co-chair this event with my wonderful colleague, Josh Lichtman. This is our second year going virtual for this event, and we are confident that next spring, we will all be able to celebrate together in person once more. We are so grateful to all of our event sponsors, and please make sure you take the time to read through the program booklet and see all their names. Today, we celebrate the passion and commitment of our 4 partners in justice, Dr. Marc Behar, Anna and Dr. Juan Gershanik, and Dr. Joseph Kanter. They continue to fight the good fight despite all the many demands on their busy lives. Of course, we also celebrate Avodah, which is helping New Orleans to become a more just and equitable community.
These 4 honorees embody Avodah's mission to develop lifelong social justice leaders whose work is informed by Jewish values and who inspire the Jewish community to work toward a more just and equitable world. As many of you are aware, Avodah is celebrating 13 years in New Orleans this year. And I had the honor of serving as Avodah's first New Orleans program director when we launched the program here in 2008. I'm now proud to serve on the advisory council with Gail. And I'm so proud of all the ways that the Avodah program has grown since those early years. Over the past 13 years, our service corps members have served over 44,000 New Orleans families and residents at 60 local New Orleans nonprofits. And over half of our service members have stayed in the city beyond their year of service, and they have been woven into the fabric of the local Jewish and social justice communities.
And it is now my pleasure to introduce Avodah's CEO, Cheryl Cook.
Thanks so much, Gail and Josh. I really appreciate you co-hosting today's event. We're so lucky to have such strong and dedicated local leadership in New Orleans. As Gail mentioned, I'm Cheryl Cook, the CEO of Avodah, and I'm so proud to be with all of you this morning, celebrating 4 amazing local justice champions. I'm delighted to add my congratulations to Dr. Marc Behar, Anna and Dr. Juan Gershanik, and Dr. Joseph Kanter. I'm looking forward to hearing from each of you later on, and I look forward to getting to celebrate with you in person next year. I'm also excited to be here celebrating our incredible local New Orleans Service Corps members. As some of you may be aware, Avodah is a national organization investing in Jewish emerging and current leaders to work on the pressing issues in our country. We have service corps in 5 cities across the United States. Along with New Orleans, we have programs in New York, in Washington, D.C., in Chicago, and soon, as of this summer, we'll be rolling out a new program in San Diego. And we also have a huge number of alumni in our program in New Orleans and across the country who continue working on poverty and pressing issues throughout their lives. I'm so grateful for the ways the Avodah Service Corps members have been embraced by the local Jewish community. And it's not a surprise that so many of our Corps members choose to make New Orleans their home after completing their year of service. This has been an extraordinary and very challenging year. This year brought to light something Avodah has been talking about and teaching about for the past 23 years, the inequities in our country and in our larger society. The events of this past year highlight why Avodah is needed. I'm extremely proud of the New Orleans Service Corps members in the virtual room with us today. At a time when you could have hunkered down, you chose to step up and step in. You help provide food to the hungry in our community and shelter and services to those without housing. You advocated for incarcerated individuals and supported those transitioning back into society. Our 75 Corps members across the country have provided essential services to the most vulnerable throughout the pandemic. I'm proud of the over 1,000 alumni who are leading and participating in efforts, seen and unseen, to create a more just city and country. And I'm proud to share an exciting announcement with all of you this morning. We're growing our New Orleans program in the fall, and will increase the number of corps members next year in New Orleans to 14. Each new corps member represents significant capacity added to a local not-for-profit. Each one represents hundreds or thousands more clients served. We're excited to be moving to a larger house to welcome the new cohort, and I especially appreciate Dr. Marc Behar's help with this. And I'm excited for them to become active members of the New Orleans Jewish community when they arrive this August. This expansion is so exciting for us, but it does come with a cost. We're grateful for everyone who has donated already to this event. And if it's in your capacity to give, we'd be so grateful if you'd consider making an additional gift this morning as an investment in Avodah's growth in New Orleans. We'll put a link in the chat. Thank you so much again. Now, I'm proud to pass the mic to our incredible New Orleans Program Director, Shoshana Maddock.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. I am so happy to be in this virtual room with you all this morning. It has been an exceptional year for our service corps members. They have navigated extremely challenging issues around criminal justice reform, voting rights, housing insecurity, and health equity. And they have chosen to do this all during a global pandemic. They've navigated working remotely and being essential workers. They've built relationships and seen injustices up close, which have been exacerbated during this pandemic year. And yet they've persisted in their commitment to real change. Justice work is incredibly hard. And this year, our service corps members demonstrated their unwavering commitment to pushing forward, to supporting each other, and to not only interrogating the great inequities in our society, but working together to address them. In every conversation I have with them, I get to learn more intimately about the work that they do and the way that they see forward for a more just world. And every conversation, I leave proud and excited to do that work with them. This is a truly exceptional cohort. They are thoughtful, they are passionate, and they are dedicated justice workers. You'll get to hear from two talented members of our cohort a little later when we enjoy the music samplings of Aaron and Rachel. But first, three of our incredible corps members, Talia, Hava, and Hallie, made a video sharing with you about their Avodah year.
My name's Hava, and I work with Excel Primary Health Care. It's a network of community health centers across the greater New Orleans area.
So the work that I have been doing for Avodah this year is that I am the corps member at Ashe Cultural Arts Center, which means that I've been doing oral history work for this Black Diaspora Arts Center that's located in Central City in New Orleans.
I graduated college and I knew that I wanted to get some more real world skills and be less theoretical with my social justice and more action oriented. And so that's why I started doing Avodah, and my placement this year is Orleans Parish Prison Reform Coalition.
To me, I would say, I just think, I think it's really important because I think health and nutrition and all those really basic needs are really central to activism in a way that we sometimes forget about when we're organizing around policy, especially in the South when infrastructure isn't as well funded across the board or universally. I think that it's really important to be supporting organizations that do that work.
So the work that I'm doing, I think, is particularly important to me because I want to be a part of Jews investing in social justice and also Jews understanding their impact, and particularly in Central City, historically, there have been Jews that have left, and the neighborhood has suffered from that. So it feels really cool to kind of be a part of this effort to revitalize it and really honor the Black communities that have remained there and think about how to uplift them without encroaching. It feels like a really different approach. So I'm enjoying it, and I feel really special to be doing it.
So Orleans Parish Prison Reform Coalition is an important placement to me because they're working on creating a more liberated and decarcerated New Orleans. And as a lot of people know, Louisiana is the incarceration capital of the country, the world. I think Oklahoma surpassed us for like a day, and then we surpassed them again. So I think that work's really important. I think it's important to me as a Jewish person because I think just justice has been a really big part of my Jewish education. And I think that sometimes the way justice was part of it was very much historical and looking back at how Jews had been involved in civil rights movements. And I'm excited to do this work because I think it's forward looking and it's getting back to like those more radical roots of actually challenging systems and not assimilating to them, which I think is really important.
I would say something meaningful about my Avodah year has been just really sort of having the transition of moving to a new city, living with new people, and sort of seeing what life can be like and all the different paths that people can take. Avodah has such a large network of people working in all these different capacities, and people are also doing like involved in a lot of grassroots stuff in New Orleans, and it's kind of almost a tight-knit community here. So it's been really interesting. I feel like I have all these people to learn from.
I think one thing that has been meaningful for me is that for so long, I was really just immersed in what Judaism meant in New York City, and it's been really cool to figure out what Judaism means in other places. A lot of my housemates are from the South or from different communities than I am, like all over, and also New Orleans is very new to me. So thinking about what my Jewish identity means in new places has been really cool.
Something meaningful to me about this past year has been getting to live with other people who are doing similar work. Because, you know, it's been COVID, and so there hasn't been a lot of opportunities to socialize with people, and the work that me and my housemates do a lot of times can be really draining. I also had never lived more than an hour away from home before, so moving here was a really big thing, and I think that it has been meaningful, even though it's sometimes difficult to live with other people who are interested in similar things and committed to making the world a little bit better, and also interrogating how we're doing that, and that's been meaningful. I think just the conversations with my housemates, and also getting to hear about what they're doing at their work has been really meaningful.
Before I started my Avodah year, I was definitely wanting a course correction to change, and I feel like this year has been a way to think more about that, and I've decided that I want to go back to school and study social work. I studied fine arts for most of my undergrad, and now I'm going to the University of Michigan to study social work, so that's really exciting.
Avodah has definitely impacted my future plans. I am hoping to stay in New Orleans after this, which is just so out of the scope of what I would have considered to be possible before doing Avodah. Avodah brought me here, and also brought me here with a lot of intentionality so I could connect with a lot of community leaders, and just, I feel like I'm investing in this city in a way that feels really meaningful, and I'm not ready to leave yet. So I think the work that I'll be doing might be slightly different. I'm hoping to go more into public health stuff, but I also know that there's a lot of Avodah alum that are working in that way, and I've been connecting with them too. So Avodah definitely feels a part of, obviously my current growth and the growth that I envision for myself in the future.
Avodah, the impact that it's had on me is that before this year, I guess I knew I wanted to do something justice oriented, but that's a really broad amorphous thing, and I didn't know what that was. But getting to work at Orleans Parish Prison Reform Coalition, I've gotten to be really hands-on in different areas and try different things, and I've gotten to do the communication side of things a lot, which I've come to really like. And I never thought of myself as an activist or an organizer necessarily. I don't know what I saw myself as exactly, but now I see myself as having the ability to do something constructive in those spaces.
Thank you, Hava, Talia, and Holly. I've loved getting to know the Service Corps members this year, and that video gave us all a glimpse of the amazing young leaders serving the New Orleans Jewish community through the Avodah program this year. Now it is my honor to introduce Henry Miller. As past chair of the Jewish Federation of Greater New Orleans, he led it to greater levels of inclusivity and diversity. Please welcome Henry to present our first Partners in Justice 2021 honoree.
I'm proud to be presenting the 2021 Avodah Partners in Justice Award to Dr. Marc Behar. Indeed, Marc is a partner in justice, someone who believes in tikkun olam, not just believes in it, but acts upon it. His leadership spans the Jewish community, the LGBTQ community, his professional community, the political community, and the members of the New Orleans community who are most in need of a helping hand. Marc holds a special place in the world of tikkun olam. He is not only someone that volunteers and supports organizations helping those in need, but also gives selflessly of his time, expertise, and leadership to guide philanthropic organizations. On a number of occasions when an organization was in disarray and needed someone to lead, he took the challenge. Marc led, he reorganized, secured funding, and stabilized the organization in crisis. As president of the Federation, I counted on Marc to develop the mission and lead JP NOLA into what is today a very successful Federation program. As an Avodah Advisory Council member, when Avodah housing became an issue for New Orleans, it was Marc, of course, that immediately stepped forward and is providing cost-effective, improved, and expanded housing. Marc, we are thankful for your leadership and deep commitment to the Jewish community and the broader community, indeed, the Olam. The world is a better place because you worked so tirelessly to fix it. Congratulations on this recognition of all of your talents, leadership, and philanthropy.
Good morning to all of you who have joined us for Avodah's annual Partners in Justice Jazz Brunch. I'd like to thank Avodah for the great work they do in our community and congratulate fellow honorees Anna and Dr. Juan Gershanik and Dr. Joseph Kanter. I'm honored to be recognized with some esteemed influencers. I believe that I'm being recognized in part for my efforts on behalf of the LGBTQ community in New Orleans and Pride Prom, so I'll share with you a little bit about how I first got involved. In 2005, following Hurricane Katrina, the infrastructure of New Orleans' LGBT community, like many things in New Orleans at the time, had fallen apart. I was asked to chair the Forum for Equality, which is Louisiana's statewide LGBT organization based in New Orleans. I was immediately tasked with leading the effort and rebuilding and organizing the forum so that there would be an entity that could respond to egregious infringements of the rights of members of the LGBT community, and also especially to respond to the anti-LGBT bills that were introduced annually in our state legislature. Louisiana in 2006 was very different than today. We didn't have same-sex marriage, and LGBTs were not allowed to co-adopt children, and the Forum for Equality fought many battles in the state legislature over these and other issues. And even though we weren't always victorious, we were there to take a stand and let our voices be heard. My participation with Forum for Equality placed me on a path to meet and work with local or national champions of human rights and equality who I admired for their fortitude and conviction of character in those challenging times. I was also able to proudly watch as several of our local elected officials spoke out strongly and powerfully on behalf of the oppressed and underserved in our state. Our LGBTQ community is no longer whispered about or shunned as it was in 1989 when the Forum for Equality was formed. And though we still have battles to fight, we've come a long way and we're now a welcomed and engaged part of the New Orleans community. In 2018, Henry Miller, who is the incoming chairman of the Jewish Federation of Greater New Orleans, wanted to start an LGBTQ Jewish outreach organization as an initiative of the Jewish Federation. He asked me to join the executive board of the Federation and charged me with developing the new organization. In 2018, Jewish Pride NOLA, or JP NOLA as we call it, was formed to provide information, resources, and affirmation to Louisiana's LGBTQ Jewish population, as well as participate in LGBTQ advocacy. JP NOLA ensures that all LGBTQ Jews in the Greater New Orleans area, and we hope eventually throughout Louisiana, will feel welcomed and embraced as part of their Jewish communities. We presently have about 70 persons on our contact list, and we also have very active programming. I can't imagine a more supportive and welcoming body than our New Orleans Jewish community, and I feel a great source of pride for being able to work with so many dynamic men and women who I've watched affect positive change in a thoughtful and caring way. I've certainly learned many life lessons from these role models. Regarding Pride Prom, after several years of searching for partners, in 2017, the New Orleans Hyatt Regency offered to host a Pride Prom for New Orleans LGBTQ teens. PFLAG joined our effort by sending us a Savvy representative to join our small group of dedicated, compassionate Hyatt employees, and Pride Prom NOLA was formed. Our goal was to create a welcoming environment so that LGBTQ youth could attend a prom that was just for them, with the date of their choice, wearing the attire they felt comfortable in, and to be able to enjoy themselves in a judgment-free atmosphere. Though the prom didn't take place in 2020 or 21 due to COVID, in 2018 and 19, the Pride Proms were a smashing success. Because of generous donors, all the prom guests were able to attend at no charge. We were so fortunate to have Bounce star Big Frida perform live at both proms, and Frida selected our prom royalty from guests who strutted on a catwalk and showed off their personalities. Of the approximately 250 to 300 guests who attended, I thought maybe 10% would participate in the personality challenge, but I think we had about half of the guests participate, and they competed proudly and had so much fun doing so. I can tell you that many of the chaperones that evening were teary-eyed watching our prom guests, many of whom had never dressed up before to go to any kind of special event, and they danced and expressed themselves, made new friends or acquaintances, and they acted so supportive of each other. It was extremely touching to see. At the end of the evening, as they departed, quite a few of the guests told us that this was the best evening of their lives. Our small group of Pride Prom planners recognized that we helped to create an experience and memory that our prom guests would hold with them for a lifetime. And we surely hope that we can resurrect Pride Prom New Orleans when COVID subsides. To get back to Avodah, in 2009, I was invited to join the advisory council of a fledgling new Jewish community or service organization that was starting its second year in New Orleans. Our new group of core members had just moved into the Bayit on Jefferson Avenue and began working at their jobs. They are working full-time, advocating for social and human justice on behalf of the most downtrodden or helpless in our community for a very small compensation. I was deeply affected after hearing each core member talk about the work they were doing at their respective nonprofits, and I knew that Avodah's work was a noble mission, and I definitely wanted to support it. Over the past 12 years, many of the core members have remained in New Orleans, and quite a few have made an impact themselves and become young leaders in our Jewish and Greater New Orleans communities. I've been blessed to serve on the Advisory Council with a wonderful group of compassionate social justice advocates, and somehow I've managed to outlast all of the original Advisory Council members, and I hope that they'll allow me to remain on the council for some time to come. I'm thankful for the opportunities I've been given and for the friends and role models I've made along the way. And they've helped me to shape my life. Without the huge support and encouragement of my partner of 25 years, Jeff Spiza, I would not have been able to accomplish a fraction of what I've been able to do. In my own way, I've tried to live by the Jewish concept of tikkun olam. And as Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Henry and Marc. We're so proud to honor Marc this year. We also want to thank you, Marc, so much for helping to make it possible for Avodah to expand our program in the coming year. You've been a true champion of Avodah and our core members. And now we have a very special guest. We're excited to welcome the Governor of Louisiana, John Bel Edwards, to present our next Partners in Justice 2021 honoree.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Avodah, for working over the past 13 years to end poverty and advocating for social justice in Louisiana. Our state is grateful for your dedication. I'm happy to join you in this virtual celebration and introduce someone who is a true asset to our state and a great partner to me. Avodah Partners in Justice honoree Dr. Joseph Kanter. Joe has been a leader in Louisiana's efforts to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 while also implementing comprehensive policies focused on quality, equity, and accessibility of health care, emergency preparedness, and infection control. His experience leading New Orleans' comprehensive opioid mitigation strategy and innovative ways of addressing community health needs made him well positioned to take on the challenges of this devastating pandemic. This award honors those who work to achieve a more just and equitable world, and he is certainly more than deserving. Congratulations, Joe, for being a 2021 Avodah Partners in Justice honoree, and God bless.
Well, thank you so very much for this award. It means a great deal to me. Very appreciative. Yeah, it's been an opportunity for me to reconnect with my Jewish identity. I grew up in young Judea and did a year course program in Israel after high school, and fortunately have not had good opportunities to connect since that time. So very appreciative of Avodah for bringing me in with this, and just so very happy and appreciative to be recognized. Yeah, I work in the health department. I'm a key advisor to the governor on the COVID response. I'll tell you, I did not sign up to help lead the state through a 100-year pandemic, but that's where I found myself. And through this work, I've recognized the incredible contributions of so many people, particularly individuals that had no intention of being in a position to really help others this way. And I've been able to see how individuals, not in the health department, just outside, business owners, people that work for community organizations, people that work in students, academia, people that work in really all walks of life, have really helped and contributed in ways big and small, and sometimes completely unnoticed. And it's been a heartwarming thing for me. It's also changed my perspective a little bit, and really it's made me realize that there are ways to contribute that might not be apparent at first and span all types of professions or activities. So I think my message to you would be, both through the Avodah program and thereafter, give a lot of thought to the notion of tikkun olam, of really what you can do to help others, because no matter what it is that you find yourself doing in life, there will be an opportunity to help others. And if you can wake up every day thinking about how you can leave the world a little bit of a better place, by the time you go to bed, that's a great way to go through life, and you'll have that opportunity. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Governor Bel Edwards and Dr. Joe. We are so grateful for all that you have done for our city and our state during the pandemic, and we are so happy to honor that work today. Now, I am very pleased to introduce our next presenter, Susan Hess, the past president of NCJW of Greater New Orleans and community leader extraordinaire, to present our final Partners in Justice 2021 honorees.
Hi, I'm Susan Hess. I'm so proud to be presenting the 2021 Avodah Partners in Justice Award to Anna and Juan Gershanik. How appropriate to have them as honorees. They have put their shoulders to the task of social justice unstintingly over the years. I've known and worked with Anna and Juan for over 30 years. We are lucky enough to call each other family. It is difficult to know where to start with these two. They have both independently and jointly done so many terrific things for our community. Over the years, Anna has served on the boards of Agenda for Children, Anti-Defamation League, Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra, the National Council of Jewish Women, Puentes, United Way, and the Greater New Orleans Foundation, to name just a few. Right now, she is serving on the Advisory Council for the Goldring Family Foundation Center for Jewish Multicultural Affairs. Juan, affectionately known as Jorge, is professionally the medical director of the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit at West Jefferson Medical Center, and also clinical professor of pediatrics at Tulane University School of Medicine. He is also president of the Orleans Parish Medical Society, among many other titles. Whew, I'm exhausted just talking about all of this. When Katrina struck, he helped evacuate the neonatal intensive care unit babies to Baton Rouge, thus saving many lives. Juan has been on the boards of the Council on Alcohol and Drug Abuse, the March of Dimes, Casa Argentina, Toro Synagogue, and Jewish Federation, where he also served as co-chair of their annual campaign. Both Juan and Anna have been the recipients of numerous community awards. Both have also been involved with the media. Anna was the author of the Times-Picayune's weekly Hispanic column, and Juan hosted both TV and radio programs dedicated to health in the Latino community. All of these things are fabulous, but there is one thing that many of you do not know. After Hurricane Katrina, Juan and Anna were determined to commission a large statue by the artist Franco Alexandrini, which depicted the Latino workers who helped rebuild New Orleans after the storm. They went on a hunt for land to place this statue and eventually convinced the city to let them locate it in the newly built Crescent Park along the river in Bywater. I would say very few couples can claim such an enduring legacy. Good job, Anna and Juan. You richly deserve today's reward.
I learned about social justice at an early age by the example set by my grandparents and parents who believed in helping those less fortunate and treating everybody with dignity and respect. Both of my grandfathers migrated from the Ukraine to Argentina, pursuing religious freedom and fleeing anti-Semitic persecution. They both worked hard, taking advantage of the economic opportunity in Argentina to become respected businessmen and inspiring Jewish leaders committed to social justice. As I was growing up, I watched my mother, a social worker, visit the slums or villas miserias to help the poor and educate the young women living there. As a young doctor, my father had worked in rural areas to bring medical services to those who lacked access to health care. And I still remember that once that he started practicing in the city of Rosario, where we lived, his former patients would bring him gifts such as eggs, chickens, and even pigs to thank him for his services. So I was nurtured in the concept of tikkun olam, repairing the world. And that led me to become a teacher and later to study political science because I wanted to help to build a better world for all. Since I was in 6th grade, I was known for raising my voice to ensure that others were treated with respect and defending those who were bullied or discriminated against. As a college student, I tried to continue repairing the world by volunteering in building homes for the homeless or marching with other students and workers to protest peacefully against Argentina's government's discriminating measures. My heroes and role models were Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, Golda Meir, and John Kennedy. It wasn't strange that I would fall in love with this guy at 16, somebody who shared my values and idealistic goals. And we continued our journey together after marrying 5.5 years later and migrating to the United States. In the beginning of my teaching career, I struggled to educate the children who were growing up in impoverished areas. And later in the United States, I found a big challenge in teaching in recently integrated schools in Charleston, South Carolina, mentoring some of the Black children who lacked the help they needed to succeed in schools. After my children were born, I continued looking for ways to serve with passion for the causes in which I believed, and I found a perfect fit in National Council of Jewish Women that provided me with the tools to develop my skills as an advocate for those who needed a voice, tackling poverty, education, violence, and inequality. It has been quite a journey, from working with jailed adolescent girls, helping mothers in the hippie program to work with their children, resettling Vietnamese, Russian Jews, and Marielitos, to mentoring young Latino students, helping undocumented immigrants, and advocating for equal rights for all. Finally, Nuestro Pueblo, the column about the Latino community that I wrote for 29 years for the Times-Picayune, provided a voice for a growing sector of the population that has enriched the diverse culture of this country. Our highest reward has been passing that legacy to our 3 children, who are a continuing source of pride with their active involvement in promoting social justice through initiatives that improve the quality of life in their communities. And also seeing positive changes in many areas, although there are still lots of problems to be solved. Anyway, I want to thank all of you so much for honoring us, Avodah, and all the world, everybody else, and for providing the means of service for so many young Jewish people who want to make a difference in the life of others. Thanks, Susan, our dear friend, for introducing us. We feel privileged to share this honor with Marc and Joe. Thanks to our grandchildren and to our, well, I'll say first grandchildren. I should have said thanks to our children, Alex, Viviana, and Esteban, our daughter-in-law, Maureen, our son-in-law, David, and again, our 6 grandchildren, and our relatives and friends who attended this virtual event. I leave you with these words from Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. Thanks again.
Well, gosh, that was very good. I don't know if I got too much more to add. And first of all, I wanted to say that when we saw the name Avodah, and of course, we associated that award with a Jewish organization, it was an extra source of pride to find out that we were the people that they selected. And we are very impressed with the other honorees today and their big deeds, as well as looking to the roster of all the people that was awarded this honor in the past. And we the first Latinos, I believe, that got this honor. So it has an extra feeling for us. And of course, you know, it's sometimes hard for folks to understand why this extra Jewish touch means so much for some of us. And the truth of the matter is that being born and raised in a country where, unfortunately, living in a small town, you were not too ready to speak about your Jewish identity. Matter of fact, you maybe were trying to hide it to the best of your ability. And compare that with the actual situation now, where we are so proud and we can so loudly speak about our Jewish identity and values. And it's a huge difference. And of course, I never will cease saying thank you, America, for all what you have done to us. It's amazing how much we can be proud and how much we can accomplish. And obviously, we wanted to really have a clear understanding, but that somebody from other countries see all the opportunities that USA provides, and from the professional part, from the community part. And so that's why it's such a privilege to be engaged in all these initiatives that could mean so much to help the life of others in the society. And I think that it's a big award for us. And I wanted to also maybe make the room to dedicate, as Anna did, to so many people that interact in our lives. Of course, our family. And I didn't get started being that oriented to community endeavors. I was mainly just very much concentrated in my professional life as a physician and neonatologist taking care of little babies. But we're really very impressed with the fact that we got so many folks that have influenced our actions, and I want to dedicate to them this award, and not only to my family that Anna already spoke about them, and how proudly we are, and how much I thank them for being helping me, and guiding me, and tolerating me, especially Anna, with all the initiatives that take so much of my time, and I push her to help me in so many of them. That has been a fantastic way to approach them, and so many other folks. So, my co-workers, my nurses, associate doctors, all the people that really helped me to get many things done professionally, as well as in the community actions, and my staff, friends, and everyone is. We keep talking about the essential workers now during the pandemic, and not only healthcare, but I think in a sense we are all essential members of the society. I got such a great admiration for what is in this country, the dedication to make other life unselfishly improve. And I cannot have enough words to express my satisfaction to, in a small degree, be able to be part of that. I am grateful, like I said, to all these people. I'm grateful to my patients and their families. It's such an honor and a privilege to be invited to be part of their life and try to help to some extent in improving their situation. And of course, we want to also thank all the people attending this endeavor. Your contribution, your support is vital for all these people that help so much what, Avodah is looking for. It's fighting domestic poverty and promoting social justice. I think the words say it all. It's something that we all need to work. It's so much work that needs to be done, but believe me, you really will achieve it. When I met with these folk and saw their enthusiasm and their commitment, they were so inspirational. So please pursue it. And I know you will have difficulties. I got them plenty myself in all my endeavors, but you get down, you get up, and you will find that your positive outcomes way outweigh the few complications and difficulties you get. And I would like to finish saying again, thank you to all the ones that mentor me. Thank you to all the people, Avodah and all the others that recognize some of the small functions that we perform. Thank you, Susan, for the introduction. You've been a big, significant role model for me, and to people from the participants in Avodah, all these young leaders that are making such a huge difference. I would like to tell that for me it's like what I like to hear when they spoke about the old President Bush, that when he was doing the jumping with the parachutes, and they asked him, why do you do that? And his quick answer is very much what I would like to say. It feels good. So, muchas gracias to everybody, and I'm really grateful for this great honor. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. This was a really inspiring morning, and I want to congratulate Marc Behar, the Gershaniks, Dr. Kanter as well. It was so wonderful. My husband Mike and I had an opportunity to host the core members along with Mark and Jeff and Anna and Juan recently. And it was so wonderful to see them interact, see our core members glean nuggets of wisdom from these very deserving honorees. I'm absolutely kvelling this morning. My name's Lynn Wasserman. I may have forgot to say that. I'm proud to serve as the chair of the National Board of Directors of Avodah. And I can't tell you all of the reasons why I'm so proud. That would take too long. But here is one reason. At the beginning of the pandemic, we made the hard, thought out decision to continue our core program despite the pandemic. This is a program in which a dozen or so unrelated future social justice leaders share a year of communal living. Were we crazy? No, we were just that dedicated to our mission. Through careful planning on our part and amazing dedication on the part of the core members, we managed a healthy year and were recently able to lift restrictions so that our newly vaccinated core members can finally get out and enjoy our city. As our CEO, Cheryl, stated at the beginning of the program, our local New Orleans program is growing, and we are so excited to welcome more Service Corps members to New Orleans than ever before. We are so grateful to everyone who has given already in support of this event, and we would be very, very grateful if you would consider making another gift this morning to help support our growth in the coming year. The link to give this is in the chat. Now, I'm really, truly excited to introduce our final piece of this morning's program. We have a real treat for you all. Two of our Service Corps members have prepared a special song for us to enjoy this morning. Please sit back and enjoy the musical talent of our two Corps members, Aaron Rothko and Rachel Snyderman.
Wandering soul, wandering eye, wondering what's gone wrong with me, trying not to try, swayed by the wind, swayed by desire. Can't touch the moon up above, and I don't dare touch the fire. 'Cause the trouble with wanting is I want you. The trouble with wanting is I want you. The trouble with wanting is I want you, and I want you all the time, always on my mind, always alone. You could be miles and miles away, but somehow you're close. If I can't have the cake, and I can't eat it too, I guess that the sound of your voice and the ache, it'll just have to do. 'Cause the trouble with wanting is I want you. The trouble with wanting is I want you. The trouble with wanting is I want you, and I want you all the time. If you never come back, if you never call, I'll say I understand, but I don't at all. 'Cause the trouble with wanting is I want you. The trouble with wanting is I want you. The trouble with wanting is I want you, and I want you all the time. The trouble with wanting is I want you. The trouble with wanting is I want you. The trouble with wanting is I want you, and I want you all the time. I want you all the time. I want you all the time.
Really beautiful, Aaron and Rachel. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And thank you all again, everyone, for joining us today. I'm hoping you are feeling as inspired as I am. These young people and our partners in justice are doing good every day. They exemplify the Jewish commitment to tikkun olam by striving to improve the lives of so many others and the community as a whole. We all benefit from their tireless efforts.
Congratulations again to Mark, Joe, Anna, and Juan. And thank you again to Governor John Bel Edwards, Susan Hess, and Henry Miller for your remarks. And thank you so much to the Avodah Corps members for your service to the city. It's been wonderful getting to know many of you this year. And to the Avodah staff, thank you for making this all possible. It's been wonderful to spend this morning with all of you, and we look forward to celebrating with you in person next year. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.